Hi everyone, welcome to DIY Ideas. Today I'll show you how you can gather fabric. So this is a really simple project that can be good for beginners as well, and the end result is really cool. So you might notice I already prepared this a bit, so I wanted to have everything ready so that I can show you. And yeah, so let's get started. This can be good for skirts or maybe shirts or for any kind of seams. You can use it pretty much anywhere you think it would look good. And I think it's really super sweet. It can really bring life to maybe a shirt or a nice dress or skirt. So anyway, stay tuned for instructions and let's get right to it. So for this tutorial, I prepared a longer piece of fabric. So it's always important to remember that you need a bit longer piece than what you want your result to be. So if you want a specific length, then make sure that you think that that would be the specific length of what's already been gathered, so to say. Then you have to keep in mind that you need a longer piece that's actually gonna get shorter by the process. So yeah, take a longer piece that you're going to use. I always use double of the length of my desired result because I really like the effect, but you can do less or more depending on what you find prettier. Another thing I also do is a prep step. So before the actual gathering is to do just a regular seam stitch on the other side, so the opposite from where you plan to gather, because it's much easier to do it before than to do it after. It also makes sense when you have it gathered. It's a bit trickier to do the regular straight stitch. And yeah, the gathering effects do look nice on skirts or maybe on t-shirts and similar stuff. You can use this pretty much anywhere, even as an additional layer on something that you already made, to make it look a bit fancier, maybe on a nice dress or on a nice shirt. So anyway, it's really something you should learn, and that's good to learn as a beginner. So stay tuned and let's get started. So here's what we need. So our sewing machine is here. A sturdier thread might be good, but the normal regular one will work as well. So here we have the A stitch, that's what we need, and the width is a bit more than usual, so 3 or 4 works just fine. Another important part is to start sewing the gathered stitch without any other extra steps or going back and forth like we would usually do to secure the stitch. So this time we won't need any of these steps. We will just simply start directly with the gathered stitch, and here you should be on the edge of your piece and then just go to the other side without any sewing backwards or anything like that. And now that we have finished this, pull this a bit longer before you cut the end thread off. So you should have a bit more thread left over at the end. And then we will simply do it one more time. So now just put it that way so that it goes in a parallel line with the existing stitch. Again, don't do the stitch backwards, you don't really need that this time. And the straighter you work, the better this will look in the end as well. So it really does pay off this time to be a bit slower and precise and neat. this is what you should be having, 2 parallel stitches. And now take the threads. You can choose whether you want to do the top or the bottom ones. I'll move the top ones out of the way this time so that I have the both 2 threads from the bottom. And pull carefully. Make sure you aren't too aggressive so that you don't rip anything, because if you do, you have to start all over. So you see how it works? It's pretty cool. If it isn't happening when you pull, you didn't take the back and the front thread of the same stitch, then just take a look at the threads you are holding and make sure they are coming from the same stitch. Just be careful with it and then make it as long or as short as you want so that you can get the result that you would like. Just be careful about pulling too tight. You don't want it to rip, and it happens more often than you think. And when you are satisfied, just do a knot and repeat the same on the other side, but be careful that you take the same threads you did on the other side or the first side, so either top or bottom, and that's an important step. You can also just do it from the one side, so pretty much as you wish. You can use your measuring tape or ruler or whatever to reach your desired length, but in my case I don't need anything specific, so I won't be doing that. But for example, if you need 10 centimeters of length, then just use something to measure with and adjust. I think I will leave it like this. So now let's take the top and bottom threads and do our regular knot, so nothing special. And now you can cut these off. Don't cut off too much, you can leave a little bit of it left over. And then repeat on the other side. So you see that here it's not really gathered nicely, so let's fix that and then do a knot. So do the knots when you have the length or width that you want, because there's no going back from the knots. If your sides are not symmetrically gathered, then you can adjust that now that you have the knots to keep it in place and make it look nice, as you would like to have it, of course. So now that you're satisfied, you can use it for whatever you wanted to use it for. So if you would like to connect it with an already existing piece of fabric or clothing, then you already know what to do. A skirt would just need another stitch to put it together, and you would of course hide these stitches in a rubber band or something like that, depending on what you're planning to do. But this is a really cool way to upcycle something you already have. So that might be another option that you could do. So you can do separate pieces, just make sure that your original piece is a bit longer than what you want as your result. So if you want to connect this to a bigger piece of fabric or a shirt or whatever, connect by going between the existing stitches on your piece. And also after that, just do another simple regular stitch below. then this wouldn't be visible anymore. Also, if you want, you can do another stitch in between and then simply unstitch the bottom since you don't need it anymore. So as I said, a skirt would be super easy to do this way, but I just wanted to show you the basics, and then you can do pretty much whatever you want with it. So you can see that it's a really fast project where you get results in a matter of minutes, and that makes it also suitable for beginners, which is always great. So let me know what you did with this method, how difficult you found it or how easy you found it. If you have any wishes for future projects or future basics videos, feel free to let me know about those as well in the comment section below the video. You can also shoot us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this one. You can subscribe to our channel for free and that way stay notified whenever we post something new, as well as access stuff we already posted for some extra inspiration. So thanks for watching DIY Ideas. I'll see you next time in our next video. So stay tuned, and until then, have a wonderful day. Bye!